From Shaman Durek, claiming to fight demons and travel the underworld,
Shapeshifters, like if I was afraid of Freddy Krueger, they would come as Freddy Krueger.
to Amy Carlson, calling herself a literal reincarnation of Jesus Christ.
She was Joan of Arc, Cleopatra. She's God.
These spiritual teachers have made bizarre claims that ultimately led them to their downfall. Here are the 6 most satisfying downfalls in spiritual history. Starting with Durek, who somehow managed to infiltrate actual royalty with outrageous claims. This guy built his brand as Shaman Durek, claiming to channel spirits, fight demons, and even travel to the underworld, all while charging celebrity clients like Gwyneth Paltrow, Selma Blair, Rosario Dawson, up to $1,500 per hour. His Instagram followers topped 250,000, and he secured a reported $2 million book deal for his spiritual guide, Spirit Hacking. But Durek's biggest claim to fame was getting engaged to Norway's Princess Martha Louise, giving him access to actual royalty.
The union of Princess Martha Louise of Norway and Durek, a self-proclaimed 6th-generation shaman from California, it's captivated the public, but not without stirring its share of controversy.
The red flags were always there, though. Durek claimed he could literally reverse aging, had died twice and been resurrected, and my personal favorite, cancer can be caused by negative thoughts, and that chemotherapy is given to cancer patients not because it helps patients, but because doctors make money from it. His spectacular downfall began when medical professionals across Scandinavia sounded the alarm about his Spirit Optimizer Medallion, a $222 metal coin he claimed could literally recalibrate your energy field and protect users from harmful frequencies and radiation. He even suggested it could help against serious illnesses by accessing the atoms of disease. Nonsense. 100% bullshit, said 2 prominent physics professors on national television. Norway's Autonomous Consumer Authority will track Durek's claims. The evidence against him kept mounting. Scientific journals published warnings about his health claims. His book publisher in Norway actually dropped his book after reviewing its content. Our conclusion is that the book should not have been assumed. It will not be published, and the publisher has informed the rights holder about this. The royal connection couldn't save him. Princess Martha Louise decided to step back from royalty duties because of the relationship, and the Norwegian royal family publicly distanced themselves from his teachings.
I gave up my Her Royal Highness title and started working and paid taxes and lost my money from the state. Then I could earn my own money and do my official duties as well.
Of course, public outrage exploded. She can fall in love with whomever she pleases, but milking her princess title for commercial purposes is wrong. It drags down the monarchy, said social commentator Vebjørn Selbakk. By 2023, his retreat attendance had dropped by over 80%. Media outlets that once celebrated him now ran exposés. Even his celebrity clients began quietly disappearing. Today, Durek still posts on social media, but engagement has plummeted. But if you thought that was crazy, just wait until you hear about Amy Carlson, the deity whose downfall was so spectacular it involved actual police evidence photos. Amy claimed to be a 19 billion-year-old deity who had lived 534 lifetimes, including as Jesus, Joan of Arc, and Marilyn Monroe. By 2020, she had gathered about 20 dedicated followers, living in her Colorado compound, and thousands more online followers who donated an estimated $500,000 plus annually.
I am God. I am Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, Great Spirit, Spider Woman, White Buffalo Calf Woman. My angels told me that I had to go serve humanity and that I had to give up everything. I did that. I have full memory of all my lives. I fully remember being hanged on the cross as Jesus.
The cult required members to follow bizarre rules, including staring at the sun for extended periods, surviving on minimal sleep, and consuming dangerous amounts of alcohol and drugs because Mother God needed them to process humanity's darkness. Former group members have said they experienced abuse, ranging from sleep deprivation to verbal and physical abuse to financial and sexual exploitation. But the truly shocking part of this story is how it ended. In April 2021, police were called to the group's headquarters, where they found Amy Carlson's mummified corpse wrapped in Christmas lights with glitter makeup applied to her decomposing face.
The Sawash County Sheriff's Department says 45-year-old Amy Carlson's body was found wrapped in a sleeping bag and decorated with Christmas lights back in April.
Autopsy results revealed she had been dead for at least a month from alcohol abuse, anorexia, and colloidal silver poisoning, the very substance she claimed was a miracle cure. 7 members of the group were arrested on charges of abuse of a corpse and child abuse, as 2 children were in the presence of the body. YouTube removed their channels with over 50,000 subscribers live streaming this incident. Their compounds were raided and shut down. The group splintered into competing factions, each claiming to be the true heirs to Mother God's legacy. Next is the self-proclaimed most enlightened being on the planet, Bentinho Massaro, a babyface guru who convinced followers he was basically a god. His popularity peaked with his Sedona spiritual boot camps, where he charged $2,500 per person for the privilege of being in his enlightened presence.
Still believe it is serving you that you keep perpetuating that which does not. It's relatively easy for someone to gain a position of influence over millions of people.
During one particular bonkers retreat in 2017, Bentinho started making doomsday predictions and suggesting followers should not be giving a damn about their life.
Imagine this whole room not giving a damn about their life. How fun would that be?
He also suggested followers should be willing to jump off cliffs to prove their spiritual dedication. In the same retreat, a member of his community actually died following his advice. A young man by the name of Brent Wilkins, a long-term student of Massaro, tragically committed suicide by jumping off a cliff near the Midgley Ridge in Sedona. Shortly after, people started asking some serious questions. This kind of stuff really scares me. People are so alienated, so disconnected from themselves, other people, and nature, that they will latch on to literally any claim of escape from suffering. Capitalism creates the breeding ground for cults, says a Redditor. Former followers came forward, sharing their experience.
These are a cult, but yeah, if someone else thinks it's fine.
He's a cult leader because he does not serve others. He does not serve society. He serves his own self, and he serves the people around him who want enlightenment for themselves. He doesn't care about world hunger.
The backlash was swift and brutal. His follower count plummeted by over 60% in just months. Retreat centers canceled his events. Even his most devoted disciples started questioning everything. I really feel like he is setting people up for a mass suicide. He talked about the harvest. I always had a weird feeling, says Schofield, former follower and founder of Decolonizing Yoga. Bentinho still posts videos today, but they barely crack 10,000 views compared to his former hundreds of thousands. His once packed workshops now struggle to fill small venues. But wait until you hear about our next spiritual scammer, who went from son of God to international fugitive, Apollo Quiboloy. Lost his freedom when the FBI came knocking with some seriously disturbing charges.
Satan Lucifer's time in this world is over. His ownership of the world is over. I am now the owner of the earth.
This guy created the Kingdom of Jesus Christ with over 6 million members worldwide, owned a TV network reaching 200 plus countries, and even had his own city called the New Jerusalem Complex, spanning 75 acres. Quiboloy's power extended beyond spiritual matters. He was besties with former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte and claimed he could stop earthquakes with his mind. I'm not exaggerating when I say his followers believed he was literally divine.
Oh, and I haven't even gotten to some of the crazy stuff this guy claims. Aside from saying he's the son of some god, he once claimed that he yelled at an earthquake and made it stop. Like there was an earthquake happening and he's just like, ah! And it just stopped.
But behind this divine facade, the FBI was building a case that would shock even his most devoted followers. In November 2021, the hammer came down. Quiboloy was indicted by the U.S. Department of Justice on charges of sex trafficking, fraud, and money laundering.
Kingdom of Jesus Christ founder Pastor Apollo Quiboloy is now a wanted fugitive with trafficking charges in the United States.
Court documents revealed he allegedly ran a child ring of pastorals, girls as young as 12, who were forced to have sex with him in what he called night duty. The evidence was overwhelming. Testimony from former members described how young women were told it was God's will to become his spiritual wives. Financial records showed millions in cash smuggled through U.S. airports. Ex-follower testified that Quiboloy's kingdom made her life miserable, destroyed.
What I'm trying to say now is that if you love your souls, and if you don't want to be bankrupted, if you don't want to be torn apart from your families, if you don't want to be stressed out, if you don't want to be sick, if you don't want to be ignorant, do not go inside the kingdom of Pastor Apollo Quiboloy.
The FBI placed him on their most wanted list with a reward for information. Philippine authorities raided his compound in March 2023, but Quiboloy had already gone into hiding. Today, his empire is in shambles. His TV network lost major broadcasting rights. Membership has reportedly dropped by over 40%. Many of his properties have been seized, and as of early 2025, he was arrested last year after a Facebook post. From divine justice to Instagram, our last spiritual scammer took an even stranger route to infamy. While Apollo was busy claiming to be the Son of God, Brittany Dawn was executing perhaps the most bizarre rebrand in spiritual history. Brittany built her empire on protein shakes, amassing over 700,000 Instagram followers through before and after transformations and peppy workout videos. The fitness business netted her an estimated $1.5 million before customers discovered their personalized plans were actually copy-pasted templates, and Brittany was ghosting anyone who complained.
If somebody asked for a refund or stated the program was not as advertised, Brittany would block them and their emails went unanswered. This is when they started reporting her business on the Better Business Bureau's website.
Thousands are joining a Facebook group for people who say Brittany Dawn took their money for fitness plans and then never delivered, and now many of them are taking those complaints to the Texas Attorney General.
A former client even came forward, exposing Brittany's false promises.
We never got anything back other than just, oh girl, you're doing so great. But I'm like, how am I doing great because I'm not losing weight and inches aren't going anywhere.
Now, instead of disappearing after this scandal that resulted in a $400,000 lawsuit from the Texas Attorney General's office, Brittany pulled the ultimate pivot. She rebranded as a Christian spiritual leader, claiming God had redeemed her.
Slowly back down in bed, and then I'm gonna anoint my body with oil, the anointing oil, because it's an act of faith. We can do new things this year. 2024 is gonna be a beautiful year. I truly believe it. I've been hearing sudden supernatural shifts from the Lord since like October.
By 2021, she was running $650 per person She Lives Freed women's retreats, where she claimed to perform spiritual healings and even baptisms, despite having zero theological training or church affiliation. Her new Christian content racked up millions of views with catchy titles. Nearly 100 women in the room have traveled from across the country, Tennessee, Florida, Colorado, and as far as upstate New York, for a day-long retreat to meet their role model. The backlash was swift and brutal. The Reddit forum r/Brittany Dawn Snark grew to over 30,000 members documenting her contradictions. Major Christian publications published warnings about her lack of credentials. Her retreat attendance collapsed by 70%, with multiple venues canceling her bookings after learning about her background. Today, Brittany's content gets mercilessly mocked across platforms. Her once thriving business has shrunk dramatically. 6 different spiritual leaders, 6 different schemes, one spectacular pattern of collapse. Their downfalls weren't just deserved, they were inevitable. The most satisfying part was when the truth finally broke through. No amount of spiritual authority could stop the collapse. And with that, let's wrap up today's video. So, what do you think? Have you ever followed a spiritual teacher who raised red flags? What warning signs do you think people miss most often? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences. Before you go, don't forget to check out my recent video.